Right now, we brought in about, in the first 3 months of us being in the new studio, it's been over 50,000 that we've brought in. And that's just primarily been with me as the only trainer. I went from working out of my bedroom in my townhouse to my garage to now having my own studio. I have 2 employees. I just hired a new trainer. We're looking at a second trainer right now. And we've only been in here since the beginning of the year, and we might actually be able to expand into another suite from here as well. I just found that out yesterday. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. And then, I had my biggest month of my career ever in March. It was over $20,000 that we brought in. And that was just by myself, doing everything, doing Zoom and one-on-one training.
Hey everyone, I'm Tony Maslow. I'm a senior success coach here at NPE, and we know that growing your client base and income is hard. We believe every Fit Pro needs a game plan to succeed. I'm really excited today to introduce you to Miguel Sandoval. He's the owner of Own It Fitness in Fremont, California. He's been a client of NPE's through several levels of our program and is really doing awesome things with his business. So Miguel, great to have you here. How's it going?
I'm doing good, Tony. How you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Beautiful day in Southern Indiana. So just want to start off real quick. Tell our audience real quick a little bit about your story. How long have you been in the fitness industry?
Well, I've been a personal trainer for going on 11 years actually this October. Most of my career was done in a big box gym here in Northern California, in particularly the Bay Area. And I've actually been a personal trainer, a fitness manager. I've been a fitness captain for an entire district at the old company I worked for and everything like that. And so I've had a lot of experience with fitness.
So you've been in this game for a while, but what got you started in the industry?
It's actually pretty interesting. I used to be a operations manager for a steel company. And, between 2008 and 2010, when kind of the bottom dropped out for a lot of companies, I during the recession, I just basically ended up not having a job. So I spent a lot of time at the gym while I was unemployed trying to find a job, was competing with people that had MBAs for like warehouse jobs and stuff. It was pretty bad. And I was going to a gym in Newark, California over here. And the manager approached me because I had been there. I would be doing like 2 days or just being there for long periods of time after I would search for a job. And he asked me if I had ever thought about being a personal trainer. So I told him no, and I actually made me really interested. So I went and got the 3 NASM certifications over like a 6-month period, got myself into that gym. And that's how I started as a personal trainer. Never looked back.
That's awesome. So what type of clients do you primarily work with now?
Nowadays, I work with like 35 to 45-year-old working professionals. They usually have families. They're pretty busy. And they're usually just trying to, maybe lose a little bit of weight, get some strength, have better energy and just kind of rebuild that confidence that they've lost over time.
Got it. So when you first were getting started, what goals were you looking to achieve with your business that led you to connecting with us here at NPE?
Well, by the time I had actually heard of NPE, like I had been in the industry for a really long time. And if I'm being honest, like I kind of felt like, well, there's not a whole lot extra I need to learn. I kind of know what I'm doing. I've been doing this. I've coached people before. And so when I came into MPE, I had actually been out. I had injured my hip and I had to have surgery and I was out for about a year. And then by the time I was ready to go back to work, 2020 hit. And as everybody knows, like 2020 was a rough year for a lot of people. So the big box gym that I was working for decided that 5,000 of us were not going to come back. And so I got laid off and I had no idea what I was going to do because I've been a personal trainer. I love doing it. I was really stressed out about how I was going to support my family, take care of my daughter. And I just kind of went through this phase where I was like, man, I really don't know what I'm going to do. So I started looking into, other options for me. I knew I still wanted to be in training. I knew I still wanted to to help people and stuff, and you know, have all my certifications through NASM. Well, when I was looking at some of the other stuff through NASM, you know, I came across MPE, and they had a Kickstart program, it was called. So I said, well, I guess I'll just try it, see how it goes. And you know, I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I got to try to do something. So I got into the Kickstart program. And when I started, I think I was a little bit hesitant to kind of change my way of thinking and everything, because I'd come from that big box mentality where you basically train everybody and anybody that comes in front of you. And NPE was telling me the complete opposite. They were telling me, you know, you need to hone in on the very specific person that you want to train. So it took me a couple weeks to kind of get past that point. And then when I did get past that point, everything just blew up. I went from knowing everything to knowing absolutely nothing, and being really successful at not knowing everything, and being able to kind of rebuild the way that I kind of manage my business. And it's just been kind of skyrocketing since then.
So some major changes, right? Mindset, first of all, and then in the belief systems and everything, for sure. But how many clients did you have when you first started working with NPE?
Zero.
So
Zero.
you're starting at square one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had, you know, a lot of old clients that it was easier to reach out to,
Right.
you know, when I started, but like I was coming off a year of not being in the gym. Like I hadn't really talked to anybody. So like those first couple phone calls, it was like I was a new trainer again, reaching out. And I mean, it was in the middle of the pandemic. I had never done a Zoom session in my entire life. I had done all one-on-ones, a couple groups, but primarily just the private training. And so to make that switch, it was really scary, and a lot of the clients that I had were skeptical, but it was a good move. Like it really, NPE really kind of helped me through that process and helped me frame it so that I could sell that product. And you know, it worked out really, really well. As a matter of fact, I had a couple clients that got in the best shape of their lives doing exercise through the pandemic.
That's awesome. Because ultimately, that's what it's about, right? You know, changing people's lives. So seriously, starting at zero, no clients, no income, no revenue when you started the Kickstart program, and tell everybody a little bit about where you are with your business right now.
Well, I'm actually happy to say that I just graduated into the NPE Academy course this week, which I had been kind of aiming for, and really excited about that. Right now, we brought in about, in the first 3 months of us being in the new studio, it's been over 50,000 that we've brought in, and that's just primarily been with me as the only trainer. I went from working out of my bedroom in my townhouse to my garage to now having my own studio. I have 2 employees. I just hired a new trainer. We're looking at a second trainer right now. And we've only been in here since the beginning of the year, and we might actually be able to expand into another suite from here as well. I just found that out yesterday. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. And then, you know, I had my biggest month of my career ever in March. It was over $20,000 that we brought in. And that, you know, that was just by myself, doing everything, doing Zoom and one-on-one training.
Yeah, I love it. So from zero, from square one to a 20K month in your own studio and team. So with this growth, you know, how do you feel right now about your business and about the path that you're on?
I think I've told you this before. It's super exciting, but sometimes I feel like I'm kind of in uncharted waters, so to speak. So just like sitting in the ocean, and it gets a little nerve wracking to know kind of what to do. But it's been very helpful to have like you to lean on, and then you know everybody in NPE, because I know that if I'm lacking direction, I can go and get exactly what I need to kind of be successful. And just that process really makes me feel a lot more confident, and it just has expanded the way that I think about my fitness business. So it makes me feel like it's every day it's becoming more and more my own business, and how I want to run things, and how I want my employees to do things, and everything.
Yeah, awesome. So from the programs, as you've moved from the Kickstart and then on the fast track, and now you graduated and just joined our academy program. What are some of the things that have been the most helpful to you?
Uh, Trust the process. Just make sure that you just don't try to just read the dang instructions and implement them. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. The other one is, I mean, some of the tools that I have found to be very, very helpful is like the 30-day plan out. That's been amazing. I know that I talk about this a lot in the calls, but I have my NPE journal, which it's over on the table. I can grab it in a second, but I do my NPE journal every day, and doing the 30-day plan monthly, having a weekly plan through my journal every day, it's been huge. That's the way we're successful here, is just by consistently doing those small things, the foundational stuff.
I love it. So, what do you think are some of the changes that you made, from before you started with this, as you put things together, that have the biggest impact on your business?
Learning how to say no. Learning how to say no has been huge, because everybody, when you're starting out and you're just trying to pick up clients and stuff like that, sometimes you're willing to make sacrifices that are great, in the moment. But when you move on and you're trying to grow your business, um, they can hinder you from doing things. And so making no an okay option has been huge. And then delegation. I mean, I used to do everything by myself. I resisted getting help for a long time through Kickstart, and the minute that I actually went and got assistance, and I have, like now I have my operations manager, it just expanded what we were able to do here, like so much. Like I lean on her so much now, and it's just so helpful because I actually have somebody to bounce stuff off of all the time.
That's awesome. So, for you now, um, how do you feel with where you're headed? What's next for you, and what's the next big plan and target for you?
Oh man, 30K a month regularly. That's what I want. I want to be able to do 30K. I want to be able to make enough to where, I can support the business and focus more on growing the business. And maybe, I love training. I think I'll always do some sort of training, but I also want to be able to take steps back and be able to develop the business into something that's much bigger. I want to have multiple locations. And the other thing too is I would love to spend a little bit more time with my family and not feel like I have to work all the time. It's gotten way better. It's gotten way better, but I definitely am looking forward to a time where I can take multiple vacations, and know that the business is going to be fine, and it's going to continue running well with the people that I hire under me.
Awesome. And so, what would you say to somebody else who is sitting back where you started? Industry experience, but haven't had their own business, starting to square one. What advice would you give to them?
I would definitely tell them to practice faith, practice faith, and make sure that you can do it. Like it can be done. I did it from nothing, literally nothing. It can be done. And then make sure that you're doing the right work. You don't just want to work, you want to do the right work. You want to know what your plan is. You want to know where you want to go. It's like having a personal trainer. Like we tell our clients this all the time: if you want to get good results, you have to hire a professional. So if you're not getting the results in your business that you want, maybe you should think about hiring a professional, like going with NPE, and doing the work and figuring out all those spots that you are missing.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Miguel, for sharing your story. I know it's going to resonate with a lot of people who watch this. We're really proud of your growth and the work that
Thank
you
you.
put in, and how you show up every single time, to our coaching calls. And so
I
you're a great
appreciate that.
example of what happens when you put in the effort, when you ask the right questions, you get clarity, you take action, you evaluate the results, you get more clarity, and keep driving forward. And yeah, I love working with you, and I'm really excited to see where the next year takes you and your business.
Thank
So
you.
for everybody
So am
watching
I.
this, Yeah. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you got questions for Miguel, post them in the comments. I'm sure he'd be happy to respond and answer any questions that you have. Again, Miguel, great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you
Likewise,
soon.
Tony. Thank you. Sounds good. Thanks.